You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Friday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
Happy Valentine's Day if you are celebrating, and I want to get this out of the way because I know there's a lot of people that texted in during the show and they're like, I'm not celebrating Valentine's Day. I'm single.
Why are you guys talking so much about love and romance when it doesn't apply to me specifically?
I'm sorry if you're single, but think about it like this. If you're single today, there's a good chance you're going to be single tomorrow and the day after. Everything's going to be fine, dude.
Yeah, that's just it. It's like the same way that guys will say, like, I don't need Valentine's Day to tell me to love the person that I'm with. You don't need Valentine's Day to remind you that you're alone, because you'll still be alone tomorrow and for a long time to come.
It's all a bunch of bullshit created by Big Flour and Big Chocolate.
Oh, you know what, though? Big Chocolate can get away with it because it's so good.
The flowers is bullshit, though, man. Dude, if you go to, like, a Loblaws today or something, you're paying, like, twice the price. You go to any flower shop, they're charging you, like, $20 for a single rose.
And a rose that's been dying before you even came in contact with it. Like, it was snipped, murdered, and you're about to give it to somebody in the hopes that it'll, last a couple days, maybe a week?
The flowers thing is, you did say this a couple weeks ago, it is a weird thought to give someone flowers and be like, I love you, knowing that they're going to die.
It's like giving somebody a scratch ticket at Christmas time that you know is not a winner.
Yeah.
You're basically saying, like, I got you a gift that will have no value shortly.
It's like the Anna Nicole Smith of gifts.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
It's Love Day!
Happy Valentine's Day, y'all.
Happy Valentine's Day. I thought, we've talked a lot about Canada, Canadian. That's the big sentiment, both at hockey games and politics, and right here on the Brock and Dalby Show lately. I thought, because there's almost certainly a number of people listening to this show who did not get Valentine's cards for their significant other yet, what if we came up with some Canadian Valentines that our friends listening to the show could share with their significant others?
Friggin' A, bud. Let's do it.
First one that comes to my mind, I'm putting my heart on the line. Will you be mine?
Oh. I was thinking maybe something like, I don't want to be a 51st state, but I do want to be your mate.
I like that. I like it. Loving you is the only thing I won't say sorry for.
Are you a product of Canada? Because I want you.
Oh, that's a good one.
Very timely.
Hey, I'd give up all my Club Z points just to hold your hand.
That's a big deal. It's a huge deal. I fell for you faster than a farmer's rap takes to digest.
That's fast. That's real fast. I'd let you kick the snow out of my wheel well.
Ooh.
That's love.
Ooh.
That's a connection.
That's heavy love.
Right to the heart.
You are the ski to my dew.
The Arctic to my cat.
Yeah. The FX to my R.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day. And if any of those lines get you some tonight, you be sure to let us know on the bad line.
I'd let you squeeze right past me anytime.
Oh.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Can my high stick spend 2 minutes in your box?
I never thought you could do a lot of hockey ones too, eh?
I'd like it to be a 5-minute major, but I don't think I can go that long.
2 minutes for roughing at best.
Yeah.
He likes it that way.
Now we have to try and make hockey-related Valentine's Day cards.
I mean, you could just start with team names, like you set my Jets aflame.
Yeah.
Or can I oil your Canucks?
I don't know why that sounds so dirty.
Is that one offside?
I was thinking there's obviously ones with a 5-hole. Can I slide into your 5-hole? 2 minutes for tripping because I just fell for you.
Yeah. The way you dangle my heart is never offside.
That
sort of thing.
Stuff like that. Call me Brad Marchand because I want to give you a lick. Is that too far?
Well, it's no farther than I'll give you 110% if you let me get pucks in deep.
4 lines banging all night.
No matter how few cups we have, I'll never leave you.
All right, too far.
Oh, did I kill the mood?
Too far.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Too far. You killed the entire mood.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I know the Super Bowl was like 6 days ago now, but I'm still seeing things that are fascinating to me. Did you see the clip coming out of the Eagles fan sitting at the game just going to town on a Patrick Mahomes voodoo doll?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, here, look at the video right here. You can see she's just got a tiny little doll. It's got 15.
She's stabbing the hell out of that thing.
She is doing some work. And it's like, oh, it's all fun and games. Everybody's having a laugh. But at the same time, Patrick Mahomes had the second worst statistical day of his entire football career while this lady was up there jabbing him with the needle.
That's all thanks to that lady, yeah.
He got sacked so many times. He got hit so many times. And you have to ask yourself, even if you are a normally rational, reasonable person, you have to ask yourself, did this woman win the Philadelphia Eagles the Super Bowl?
I mean, she probably thinks that for sure. In her circle of friends, she's a hero.
She is bragging to everybody that she should get a ring.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm honestly going to go ahead and say it. I know that I have made fun of stuff on this show many times. Voodoo freaks me out, man. This stuff honestly gets to my brain somewhere.
Sometimes I like to wonder that, if my back ever goes out or I slip and fall, I'm like, was it me?
Oh.
Or was it the voodoo dolls?
Dude, when you're just walking, and I don't know if this happens to you so much, but once you get to a certain age, it happens more. You're just walking and all of a sudden your knee will just kind of buckle and not take you down, but just enough to let you know, that was bad. I just naturally assume somebody out there somewhere made that happen with voodoo. I don't know. Maybe I think too highly of myself that someone would have a voodoo doll of me, but I am convinced of it.
I feel like to have a voodoo doll of you, the only thing is you would have had to have at least crossed someone or pissed someone off bad enough. That's the worst part.
Brother, you've seen the text line. We literally piss people off every single day.
Valid point.
There is definitely somebody out there who's thought about stabbing us with a voodoo doll before.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this, though, because I think this will say a lot about who you are as a person. You're this person. You're in the building for, say, a Stanley Cup final. It's Game 7. Leafs are playing. Who cares who they're playing? You've got a voodoo doll of the other team's goalie, and you know that it works. Do you stab it?
Yeah, obviously.
You monster.
Obviously.
You would cause physical harm to a human being for a hockey trophy?
The last time the Leafs won, there wasn't even color TV. Yes, of course I'm going to do it. What do you mean? Win at all costs.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I saw Buddy post a photo last night on Facebook. It was his grandma's 92nd birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Grandma.
On her cake, she just had the 9 and the 2 on there.
That's probably for the best.
number candles. And I had this weird thought where I was like, at what age do you stop putting the birthday boy or girl's actual age in candles on a cake?
Well, at some point, it's a fire risk. It's a hazard.
Yeah.
But that's too much fire to have in one place.
I mean, when you're 11, you'll have 11 candles. But, I mean, the older you get, the more ridiculous it is, too. Also, it's pretty hard to blow out those candles.
Oh, 100%. I'm turning 42 in September. Even with my asthma inhaler beforehand, I don't think I get all 42 candles.
That's what I was going to say. Do you think you could blow out your age in candles?
You would have to be very strategic. The way that most people blow out candles, right, is just a hard, quick breath to try and get them out. You would have to be very methodical of
Also, the candles are very stubborn at times, too.
Yeah.
And if they're closer together, sometimes it makes the flame stronger.
Right, and then you also have to think about, how they're arranged. If you want to mess with somebody, you just put them sporadically. Now, there's no way. But if you line them up, if you line up all the candles, I could maybe do 40.
It would be so mean to do to, an 85-year-old.
All right, get them all.
The amount of breath that you would need for the,
And then you got to hit them at the end when they miss 30 of the candles. Be like, whoa, Granddad's got 30 girlfriends.
If you're looking to cash in, that's a great way to take them out.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We got friend of the show, Steve, on the phone. Steve, how old are you?
Gonna be 43 in August.
Do you think you could blow out all 43 candles?
Oh, God, no. I've had too much of the green in my lungs.
The older you get, the tougher it gets, too.
That's
right?
just it, man. This is increasing in difficulty every level.
Oh, 100%. The more candles on the cake, the blowing air to spit ratio doubles every year.
Well, that's true. The longer you're blowing, the more spit. And then, too, as you get older, maybe you get down to them false teeth, your lips are just going...
Oh, and then little kids' birthday parties, forget about it. I won't even touch a cake at a child's
Oh,
birthday
God.
party.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. Anytime you get a slice of cake at a kid's birthday party, that thing is just infected.
Oh, yeah. You think you get sick from kids at school? Go to a birthday party.
I just Googled it here. According to Google, blowing out candles on average resulted in 1,400% more bacteria on the frosting.
I mean, well, that's the thing, especially like he's talking about with kids. They're not blowing their candles out with air. It's more like a light rain shower over top of the cake, just dousing each individual wick.
I never thought about it. Blowing out candles is actually very gross.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing that somewhere along the way we decided, like, wouldn't it be great if the person we're here to celebrate just expelled their lungs and mouth all over what we're about to eat?
Also, cake is the only thing that you can do that with that is like a communal food that everyone's going to eat.
Right, Grandpa doesn't get up to carve the Thanksgiving turkey and start basting it first.
Bro, imagine if you were like eating soup and I just blew on you, or on your soup rather.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's looking a little hot. Let me get that for you. Get the hell out of here.
There we go. I cooled it down for you.
I bought pizza for the office. Don't worry, guys. I got this.
That's like a little kid move of like, don't touch my food.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I am excited because I'm going to go pick up flowers later. And my favorite thing on Valentine's Day is going to like Loblaws or like wherever, Shoppers or whatever, and seeing all the guys panic buy expensive ass flowers today.
Scrambling for gifts at the last minute. It's the best.
I feel bad for everyone in line, but then like also, can we get a round of applause for anyone that has to sell flowers today, especially the people at like grocery stores?
Yeah. Oh, God. Because, I mean, especially like if you don't work in a flower shop, you're probably not like an expert. And guys are going to come in and start asking people like, oh, my wife likes this kind of flower and I need an arrangement. What do I do? It's just, they're over there, man.
Not even just that. It's just nonstop.
Just packed.
All day long.
Right?
You know?
I couldn't do that. I could not deal with that. That's why I got my gift for Mallory about a week ago. We're doing like a stained glass class together. Done and dusted. Easy as can be.
There you go.
Bought it all online.
There you go.
I will say this. I know that the day is going to be ruined for a lot of other parents out there, at least with the kids that go to my kids' school. They're also giving out report cards today. Imagine having romantic plans with your significant other, but first you've got to get little Johnny or Jenny's report card. Talk about killing the mood.
It's true love is what it is.
Trying to put back together a romantic evening after having to scold your kid for not paying attention
That's how
in
you
class.
get alone time, actually.
You're grounded.
You send them up to their room because they got a bad report card. Anything below an A is not acceptable tonight.
Go to your room.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Yesterday, Donald Trump declared that the United States will no longer provide military protection unless Canada becomes the 51st state.
And Canada is just absolutely, I say it, and sometimes people smile and sometimes they say great idea, but Canada, their taxes would come down greatly, their security would go up greatly. Amazing things happen to Canada, and really Canada in this particular, why would we pay $200 billion a year in subsidies to Canada when they're not a state? You do that for a state, but you don't do that for somebody else's country.
Can I be the one to ask? What did we do?
Right? Doesn't it feel like at this point it's a vendetta?
Did we do something? Like, I just feel like the past few weeks, every time I turn on the news or I go online, he's saying something about us.
We need to question that this hour has 22 minutes, people. Did somebody there say something that he caught wind of and now we're dealing with all this?
It feels like when, you're in an unhealthy relationship with someone, like, it feels like when your girlfriend's mad at you, but you don't know what she did. Like, they keep being passive aggressive and you're like, what did I do?
Just tell me what I did wrong and we can work past this.
They're like,
I'm not giving you any more money for your military.
Oh,
and it's like, he's also got to stop using the word subsidize. Americans buy Canadian products. That doesn't mean they're subsidizing us. It means we have things that they want. But he just keeps gaslighting us like an abusive relationship.
I also do find it funny because he didn't hate us when Canadians were sent out to help with the wildfires in LA and stuff.
Oh, no, that conveniently was a different story. That was just neighbors helping neighbors.
Also, I feel like that goes against everything that like NATO stands for, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, all of this stuff, right? Talking about absorbing Canada as the 51st state, there's a literal bill on the books in the American government that has to be officially read and voted on called the Red, White, and Blue Land Act of acquiring Greenland. It's literally a bill that would give Donald Trump permission to buy Greenland and rename it Red, White, and Blue Land.
This beef is just like getting out of hand. It's like an uneven rap battle where it's like, what? We didn't want the smoke. Like,
we didn't even show up to the battle. We heard the next day that someone was talking smack about us at the club.
The irony is like, I mean, yeah, we don't need the protection because most countries actually like us.
Well, that's just it, right? We don't spend as much as they do on the military because we don't have enemies in every corner of the planet.
Break up with us, you're losing the entire friend group. That's how this relationship works out.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Apparently, Ringo Starr is claiming that he has never eaten a slice of pizza in his life, despite being the spokesperson for Pizza Hut back in the 90s.
Well, because he was too busy writing all those letters back to the fans that wrote to him, right? He didn't have time to stop for pizza.
I just feel like, how do you live that long on planet Earth,
Right.
and you've never once.
And the thing is like pizza's just such a prevalent food item, right? Like you can talk to someone who's like, I've never eaten edamame before. Well, sure, because it's not everywhere you go.
Being a band on the road?
Right. You've never been to an after party. You've never had to grab food quickly on the go between shows. There's never been pizza in a green room that you've been in.
He's never had a pizza party before?
He's never had a pizza party. Why do I suddenly have sympathy for Ringo
That
Starr?
makes me sad.
That's really sad to
That
think
makes me
about.
sad. All his songs suck and he's never enjoyed pizza?
Okay, easy now. Easy.
Poor guy.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
Let's see what he's got.
Good morning. Today's word is it's coxcomb.
Pardon?
Yeah, it's coxcomb. C-O-X-C-O-M-B, coxcomb.
C-O-X.
All right. And it's a foolish, conceited person who is overly concerned with their appearance. A dandy. Or it's the cap or hat of a jester adorned with a red stripe. That wasn't what I was expecting. But anyways, I think the first part of the definition should be wearing the second part of the definition. Anyways, that just about does it. Have a great one. Cheers her up.
Coxcomb, is he saying that right?
I think so.
Coxcomb.
Okay.
Yeah, it basically is just somebody who's very vain. Somebody who takes a lot of pride in their appearance, maybe goes too far.
And something about a jester's hat?
That part I did not understand. I did not understand that part.
So let's say you got that one buddy that every time you go out, you catch him looking in car windows and stuff, looking at his own reflection all the time. That would be coxcomb behavior.
Oh, absolutely. But also, like, if you and a bunch of people are going out somewhere and there's always that one friend who's way overdressed, like if you and the boys are going to the club, and there's that one guy who's got like a suit on.
That's
you're just
coxcomb.
Like, you're being a real coxcomb today.
Could we say that the guy that runs the country south of the border to us is quite coxcomb?
Super vain, super conceited, always dresses like a bit of a dandy, especially with all that weird orange paint that he puts on. Yeah, I would say it's safe to call him a coxcomb.
That's coxcomb behavior?
That's coxcomb behavior,
Let's
for sure.
refer to President Trump as coxcomb from now on.
Well, the best part is he'll have no idea what it means. He will not get it.
Coxcomb, coxcomb, coxcomb. Use it wherever you can today, all right?
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.